So welcome back to Elton Hall, where we're going to continue with the seance. So I'm going to begin by sending one of you to Corridor G, where 10 of the 12 students lived who lost their lives in the suicide pact. And I'm going to get one of you to go and sit alone in one of those rooms in that corridor for the main part of tonight's experiment to report if anything happens from there. Okay, let me show you the rooms. We've got a CCTV camera in all of them. There's also a chair in each of them and a whiteboard and a pen, which are going to be important later on. So whoever goes into that room will be able to see and keep track of, and I'd like that to be you, Sally, if that's okay. All right, great. Come with me. Excellent. They'll give you instructions on how to get there, all right?
Fine, yeah.
Okay, so if you go through there, they'll do that for you now. Cheers. Thanks a lot. They're just around the corner. So Sally is essentially going to go and sit in the dark for a bit on her own with a whole set of expectations in her head, and I'm interested to see how that affects her state, whether she starts to imagine a presence or whatever in the room that she's in.
Derren?
Yes. Is she in the corridor?
In the corridor.
All right, fantastic, okay. Oh, there she is. Hi, Sally, can you hear us? Sally, can you hear us?
Yeah.
You're in the corridor where 10 students lived, 10 out of 12 students who were manipulated and essentially murdered by a charismatic young man under whose spell they fell. In a moment, I'm going to ask you to walk down the corridor. As you do, I'd like you to have a look at the door numbers, just have a look at them all. And then you're going to go and stand in front of one of the doors, all right? Yeah. And that will be the room that you're going to go into.
Yeah.
All right? Does that make sense? You're going to go and stand in front of one of the doors. So just start
That's
walking
fine.
down for me now. Just have a look at all the doors as you go. Just really get a sense of that corridor. Look at all the doors, the door numbers. Get a sense of the corridor, a sense of where you are. And just let one of those draw you to it, either the number or the door itself or a sense of what the room is like behind it, I don't know, but just let one of them draw you to it. Okay?
Okay, yeah.
All right, great. Now there's a camera inside, so I'll be able to see, but I'd like you to go in for me. It is probably fairly dark in there, so as you go in, I want you to see where the chair is. On the chair, there's a few bits and pieces. There's the whiteboard and pen. You'll need to take those off and just put them on the floor.
Yeah.
Great. Just put those on the floor and take a seat for me. Okay. Now, it's fairly dark in there, but it's not pitch black, is it? The curtains are open, I think. So your eyes will become accustomed to the light in a minute, and you'll be able to see what there is. Now, you're right there for a bit.
Yeah, I'm okay.
So you're just there to tell us anything that maybe goes on in that room. You're going to keep us posted about what's happening over that side of the building. All right, great. So we're going to come back to you and speak to you in a bit. For now, can we just turn Sally's sound off? Can you hear us now, Sally? Okay, great. Many Victorian mediums claim to be able to tell details about a person's life from photographs of them. And I want to give you guys here and the viewers at home a chance to see what they can sense about our 12 students from photographs of them. Okay, let me show you this. So I want you just to get a sense of what these people might have been like. There's also some envelopes in here, which we'll come back to later. There's an envelope for each one of the students, all right? We'll need those later on. For now, let me just lay these out. Debbie, Nigel, Patty, Gary, Dave, Emily, Keith, Jane, Jim, Dave, and Tina and Lena. So all of you guys do have a look at them, and also at home as well if you want to get close enough to your TV set so that you can see the names clearly under the photographs too. Come in really close. It's really important that you concentrate on this at home and follow the instructions that I give you to the letter, otherwise much of tonight's seance will be lost on you. So this is the sort of exercise which mediums would carry out to see which spirit was going to come through at the seance. So just start off looking at any of the colour pictures, all right? Get a sense of the personality there, and as soon as you get even half a thought, an unconscious impulse about what sort of a personality that is, move your gaze left or right, it doesn't matter, until you get to the nearest black and white one. Okay, do that for me now. Good. All right, now that's a different sort of picture and a different personality will come through. As soon as you've got anything, a thought, whatever, just move up or down this time until you get to the nearest colour one. However many rows, doesn't matter, to the nearest colour one, and a different personality coming through this time, maybe a hobby or an interest or some sense of a personality. Good. All right, immediately now go diagonally until you get to the nearest black and white photograph. Now this is supposed to be confusing, but do this for me now. Now you're looking at one of the black and white ones, that's good. Now get a sense of a personality there. Great, good. Now take a deep breath in, hold that, then just move left or right along to the nearest colour picture, and then when you've got that, just let the breath out and settle into that picture. And just let a sense of a personality come through the screen at you, through this colour picture, one that has drawn you to it. This picture now that you're looking at. As you do that, don't tell anybody the name of this person that has drawn you to him or her. Don't tell anyone what person you're looking at. Just let that personality come through the screen, settle on it, get a sense of this person, and lock this person into your mind. Remember the name, remember the face. Now obviously if there really were a spirit coming tonight, you'd all be thinking of the same one. That's obviously not going to be happening here, but the point is you all now have a name and a face to give to whatever spirit may be trying to get through tonight. And as for you guys here, I'd just like you just to have a look, just pass the photographs around a bit, just have a look at them. And as you look through them, allow one of the photographs to draw you in. Just have a good look through them and allow one of those photographs just to really just speak to you in a way, or draw you in. Okay? Thank you for that. Great. I'd like you all to grab a chair and pull them in and take a seat around the table. Okay, so now we're going to try something called automatic writing. Mediums would take a piece of chalk and a slate, and they'd put the end of the chalk against the slate, and they would allow their hand to write. And the idea was the hand was moving outside of their own conscious awareness, and that it was a spirit that was channeling through them and could give messages for the people at the seance. It's called automatic writing. I'm going to try this with you. I'm also going to try it with Sally in the room, but I'm going to cover Sally up so that what she does in the room doesn't influence what we do here, all right? So, also I would ask people at home if you want to do this too. Obviously at home you won't be channeling any spirits, but if you can take part in this, you'll find it interesting just to see what happens and how your hand moves. So would you just take a good seat back just there? That'll be great, thank you. And I'm going to give you a board and a pen, and just rest the end of the nib against the board there. Now just look at me. And what's really important here again is that you can allow yourself just to get into a kind of a comfortable, relaxed trance state, which is exactly what the mediums used to do. They used to get, that's very good, thank you. Just let your eyes close and your head drop down. Okay, great. So, what I'd like you to do, and can we get sound contact with Sally, please? Sally, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Sally as well, I'd like you to pick up the board and pen.
Okay.
Take the nib off the pen.
Yeah.
And hold the end of the pen just against the board, and at home do the same thing with the end of your pen against the paper that you're leaning on. I'm going to start trying to get a bit of information about which spirit or which one of the students we might be contacting tonight, all right? And we're going to try and get where the student lived, what city they came from. So Amy, all you're going to do is just to imagine whatever the spirit is that you have in mind, whatever student drew you in through her or his picture, just to begin to move your hand now. And it's a city that you're going to write, but don't think about what you're writing. And also, Sally, as you do this, just allow your hand to write. It doesn't matter what you write.
Okay.
You just allow the hand to move wherever it wants to go. Okay. Can the camera come in and see this, please, Jono? Can we come in and see this? All right, that's fantastic. I'm going to turn this slightly so the camera can see. Okay. Now, I'm not going to mention the name of the city, but what I'd like you to do is just to come back to me and just open your eyes. Great, thank you so much. And I'm just going to show everybody here what we've got. Okay, I'm not going to say what it is because I don't want Sally hearing in the other room. Any particular reason why you wrote that without saying what it is?
No, I sort of put the pen to it and it sort of did it without even thinking. It was like sort of doing it for me. It was really weird.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Really weird.
Now, it's a big city, but obviously you could have written absolutely anything. I'm going to go over to Sally and find out what she wrote. We're going to open this now so we can see her. I didn't want that influencing you. Sally, just tell us, what city did you write?
London.
Can you hold it up and just show the camera just so we can see that?
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's the right way up, but there you go.
Well, that's amazing. I mean, London, I suppose, is a fairly large, obvious city. Maybe that's why you both wrote it. I don't know. However, 2 out of the 12 students, only 2, in fact, did come from London. I'm not going to say which 2 they were because I don't want to influence anything that happens later on. We're now going to take a break. For the next part, you're going to want to get a wine glass and some letters of the alphabet to put around in a circle around the glass. You can use Scrabble tiles or you can just use bits of paper with letters written on them. We're going to use a Ouija board in the next section. If you don't want to do that or you don't want to watch it because you've got objections, religious or otherwise, that's fine. Just please switch off and do not watch the rest of the show. Otherwise, we'll see you in a bit. So we're going to go downstairs and I want to give you the box of envelopes to take down with you, all right? Okay, let's go.